place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adanna Combie. Thank you so much for staying with us this morning. We're just about 7:48 a.m. and I know most of you might not be going to work, but just in case you are, you have about 12 minutes to get there. Of course, get there safely, do a good day's job, and then you can go back to all the cleaning and preparing for the Christmas season. All right, we continue conversations this morning in studio and we shift gears. We're going to be speaking with Mr. Leroy George. He is the Public Relations Officer of the Tobago Writers Guild, and we're talking about cultural literary exchange happening right here on the island of Tobago, and he's going to give us all the details. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I am well, thanks. And yourself? I'm sure that you're doing quite well.
Yes.
Right, and of course, when we're talking about Tobago Writers Guild, I know that it's something that is very dear to your heart, and it's something that you promote a lot in terms of getting people to read and to write and to get into that type of literary intelligence, rather. Right. Yes. So now we're talking about collaborations here, right, and exchange. Let's get into it. Let's give the information that we should have where this is concerned. I know there's a collaboration with the logo, so
yes.
So let's talk about that.
So tomorrow, if ever you wanted an excuse to go on the logos, you haven't been there yet, you heard about it, tomorrow is the best time. 5 p.m. is the best time. These particular events, you're getting 3 in 1. They cost no money. You just come with your $5 to get on the logos and you're inside, right? From 5 p.m., the first thing going to be happening, we're going to have a display of books. Of course, the logos, they sell books. So we're not going to be selling books. But we are going to have a display of books written by authors from Tobago, mainly from Tobago in the Tobago Writers Guild. All would be Tobago Writers Guild members. We do have members all over the world now. We have been expanding, etc. And also, at that same time, we're going to start back the lecture series. The lecture series is one of the events that the Writers Guild used to do on a regular basis that a lot of people been missing. And so we're going to be having a panel discussion. In times past, the lecture series would be kind of like a presenter would come and present something 15, 20 minutes or whatever have you. And then persons from the audience would be able to ask some questions. And then you break out into a type of basic free-flowing conversation, etc. However, this time we're going to have it free-flowing from the top, right? So it's going to be taking kind of the structure of, let's say, a podcast, something like that. And we're going to be talking about literature and its effect on culture, right? Or its effect on culture, rather. And for that, we're going to have 3 persons that, besides myself, I'll be the host, right? We're going to have 3 persons that know a lot about literature and its effects on culture. We're going to have Cleon McPherson, right? We know him as one of the most celebrated, if not the most celebrated spoken word artist. And so I spoke to him just yesterday, and it's amazing how quick he could react to things and bring ideas together. And so that would be interesting. Also, we have a young man, a lot of persons know him as Zav. I know him by his proper name, Xavier Edwards, a former president of the Tobago Writers Guild, definitely one of the most celebrated reggae artists. And music is another form of literature because you have to write your songs, etc. And his tend to be extremely well written. And also, we're going to have one of the founders of the Tobago Writers Guild, Miss Lauren Boris Phillips, and we're going to be having that discussion. That discussion is going to last an hour from 5 p.m. And also, we'd have our in-house studio. Well, you have the studio audience right there. And so they could become part of the discussion as we go along. And after that, that is going to end around 6 o'clock. After that, we're going to have an open mic situation. And for that open mic situation, we're going to be as the co-host of that open mic situation. You'd have Tobago Updates own Kwa is going to be there. And also you'd have like Sean McCoon, who is going to be on the keyboards, etc. And if you want to be a part of it, you just have to call the Writers Guild number. That is 620-5799. Or you could call me directly, 750-8369. Or you could call the president, that is 484-6726. And you could be a part of that. We already have quite a lineup already, but we could take some more, so you could go ahead and call.
That was a lot of information at rapid fire speed. But ladies and gentlemen, I want you to stay tuned. We have to go for a quick break, and we'll be right back with more information on the Tobago Writers Guild literary collaboration with the Logos Hope here in Tobago. So stay with us. We're going for...
Put a smile on your face.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. Before we went to that break, we were talking with Mr. Leroy George. He is the Public Relations Officer of the Tobago Writers Guild, and we're talking about an event happening right here in Tobago tomorrow evening. And he mentioned a name just before we went to break, and that guy is in studio with us this morning, and he is Mr. Sean McCoon. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Ms. Combie.
Right. It's a pleasure to have you here in studio with us this morning, and we were talking about the event taking place tomorrow. Mr. George was just taking us through what we can expect when we get there. And of course, we want to hear your contribution as to how the event is going to roll out, the partnership, and what are the expected outcomes.
Right. So, as we know, the Logos Hope is here in Tobago until the 26th of December. And this is a golden opportunity for Tobago as an island to really capitalize on this sort of partnership. Now, one of the benefits of this is the Tobago Writers Guild having the opportunity to partner with the Logos Hope, which is the largest floating library or bookstore in the world, and having some of our local talent and homegrown talent being put on display at the open mic. Also, it gives an opportunity for us to show as an island that we are ready and willing to collaborate with these international organizations. Logos Hope is a not-for-profit organization, very much like the Writers Guild, and we are always happy to collaborate to make events happen and to ensure that the profile of the Writers Guild is raised, and also to ensure that the profile of the Writers Guild internationally, showcasing what we do here in Tobago, and giving us that great opportunity.
And you know, as you mentioned, and Mr. George also mentioned, that it is a golden opportunity to partner with the Logos right now, and having local writers, their work on display at the Logos. We're going to have hundreds of visitors on the ship during this period while they're here. How does one become a member of the Tobago Writers Guild?
Becoming a member of the Tobago Writers Guild is easy. There is a membership form. You could find it on the Tobago Writers Guild Facebook page or the Instagram page, or you could call the numbers that I gave before, 620-5799. That's the Tobago Writers Guild number. You could call me directly, 750-8369, or you could call the president, 484-6726, and either which way, we're going to have a short conversation with you, because you don't want to just join, and then when you join, we don't know where you fit in, because you have so much going on, especially now that we're becoming more international in so many different ways, not just partnering with the Logos Hope. We even became a member of the IAF, that is the International Authors Forum, earlier this year, that serves kind of like a trade union globally for writers, etc. Make sure life is easy, and you could transition from being like a novice to a professional writer, get paid for your work, stuff like that. And anyway, so once you want to benefit any of these things, and there's so many other benefits that I probably can't list unless you have more time, right? You could just reach out in those ways, and that's how you could get.
And you know what I like about what you said in terms of, and I guess it's an assessment. When somebody wants to join, you give them an assessment so you know how to place them. Because you know, a lot of people like to join a moving train, you know, and so of course you want to ensure that you find a space that you know, can be of benefit to the Writers Guild and to the members who are joining as well. And being a part of all these international organizations, how has it benefited the writers? You also mentioned that we have writers locally and internationally. So what has been the benefits for the writers of the Writers Guild?
One of the benefits, we have ambassadors all over the world, right? So we have persons in Israel, we have persons in England, United States, Jamaica, etc. And so when there are events, like when the IAF had a particular event in one of those nations, you have somebody who is there to represent the Writers Guild. And of course, that brings international light. But in terms of you directly, one of the things, because we have been reaching such a wide sphere of persons, etc., the Guardian newspaper would have reached out to us a couple of years ago, and now all the members of the Tobago Writers Guild, once you become a member of the Tobago Writers Guild, you write an article, you send it in. We're going to probably give it a little editing, because of course it had to look Tobago quality, etc. It's going to be published every Friday. If you buy a Guardian newspaper, you would see an article written by a Tobago Writers Guild member. Even January, February, March, April, May. I just get tied up between March and May. May the 10th, we're going to be in the library. We're going to tell you guys a little bit more about that because the ambassador of Venezuela, we did attract his attention, and we're going to be doing a film screening about some Afro-Venezuelans in the times of slavery and the rebellion, etc. And of course, it being the embassy, they were looking to see if they could form closer ties with Tobago in particular, in contrast to just Trinidad and Tobago in general. So those are some of the benefits.
And you know, this event it's tomorrow evening on the Logos.
Yes.
It gives persons an opportunity to ask questions about joining the guild, because I'm listening to what you're saying and the benefits are innumerous, right? And so you can ask the questions there, I suppose, because representatives from the guild will be there if you want to join. Of course, I like when you join an organization to be an active member. So I'm putting this out there on your behalf. When you join, try to be an active member, get involved in all that is happening, listening to all the benefits that are coming from this. And I'm hoping that tomorrow that there is a good turnout, especially with all that you have planned. The discussion, of course, I'm sure is going to be very engaging, as you mentioned. Tell me the topic again that you're going to be talking about tomorrow at the event.
Literature and its effect on culture.
And you know, we have a kind of culture that follows other cultures. And so, of course, it kind of ties in, especially at this time of year where people talking about a true Tobago Christmas, American Christmas. How do we, you know, kind of form cultures based on the kind of literature we consume? You know, so I really, really wish the very, very best tomorrow. I hope you have the turnout that you're looking for tomorrow. And I really want to encourage people to get into reading, trying to write. You could write a one-liner, and you could start with one line, right?
Yep.
That's where it starts, you know, and be a part of this move. And I believe in literacy at any level. It kind of positions you. Once you have the information, you have the power. Not so? That's what they say. Knowledge is power. And so I really look forward to what is happening there tomorrow. So in closing, is there any additional information you want to share with our viewers?
I think this is also an opportunity for people with talent. Now, the Writers Guild goes beyond just writing and publishing articles and all of. We have musicians, we have visual artists, we have different people within this space that are extremely talented. And the Writers Guild actually provides that sort of platform. And I think Mr. George would agree with me on that. For young, talented people within the Tobago space to come forward and be able to showcase what it is their God-given talents are and some of the work that they are doing. So hats off to the Tobago Writers Guild for being that sort of platform to allow young people to pivot and display themselves for all and sundry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard the information here first on Tobago Updates Television. The Tobago Writers Guild, in collaboration with the Logos Hope, is presenting tomorrow. It's like a book display, open mic panel discussion. Come and be a part of what is taking place there. They begin at 5 p.m. and they run till 7 p.m. All you have to pay is the $5 fee to enter the Logos. That is their fee. And so you can be a part of this great move that is taking place there by the Tobago Writers Guild. So we do hope to see you there, reading a book or two, getting to know some of the authors that come from Tobago and having conversations with members there of the Tobago Writers Guild. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are ending things on the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television.